Hey guys, my name is Danica Padilla, and for today's video, I'm going to discuss with you my activity on Chapter 11, Managerial Decisions in Competitive Markets. Firms operate in a range of different market structures. Market structure refers to the makeup of a market, such as the number of firms and the characteristics of the goods or services being sold. Economics focuses on four primary models of market structure. In perfect competition, there are standardized products, no barriers to entry, and a large number of suppliers and buyers. Barrier to entry is a legal, economic, or political barrier that prevents or obstructs the entry of new firms into a market and limits the amount of competition that existing firms must face. In a monopoly, one company is the only supplier of a good or service for which there are no close substitutes. There are also two different market structures with imperfect competition, in which every firm has some market power and some barriers to entry exist. Oligopoly, which consists of a small number of suppliers, each with a degree of market power. Monopolistic competition, in which the suppliers have a low degree of market power and sell differentiated products. Perfect competition is a theoretical construct and does not exist in reality. It is difficult to find real-life examples of perfect competition, but there are variants present in everyday society. Consider the situation of a farmer's market, a place characterized by a large number of small sellers and buyers. Typically, there is little differentiation between products and their prices from one farmer's market to another. The provenance of the goods does not matter unless they are classified as metal. In such cases, and there is very little difference in the packaging or branding of products. Even if one of the farms producing goods for the market goes out of business, it will not make a difference to average prices. Pure monopoly is the opposite case. This market structure consists of a monopolist, a supplier that has a monopoly over the provision of a good or service. The monopolist still needs consumers to purchase its products if it is going to stay in business, and consumers can still decide not to buy the product, because the monopolist can use its position as the price maker to charge high prices. The monopolist will make above normal profits. One example of monopoly is Carnegie Steel Company, founded by Andrew Carnegie. Before there were government policies in the United States, in the late 19th century, Carnegie Steel was able to have almost complete control over the steel industry when steel was needed for infrastructure and many commodities. An oligopoly is a market form wherein a market or industry is dominated by a small group of large sellers. The market structure that Netflix operates under is an oligopoly. In an oligopoly, there are few companies that control the entire market. In the streaming market, Netflix, Hulu, and Amazon are the main competitors. With Netflix being the market leader, they have large influence over this market. Lastly, monopolistic competition characterizes an industry in which many firms offer products or services that are similar but not perfect substitutes. The hairdressing industry is an example of a monopolistically competitive industry. There are many hairdressers in the country, and most hairdressing firms are quite small, but the products of different hairdressers are not perfect substitutes. A perfectly competitive firm is known as a price maker, because the pressure of competing firms forces them to accept the prevailing equilibrium price in the market. If a firm in a perfectly competitive market raises the price of its product by so much as a penny, it will lose all of its sales to competitors. Also, a perfectly competitive firm must be a very small player in the overall market, so that it can increase or decrease output without noticeably affecting the overall quantity supplied and price in the market. In a perfectly competitive market, products are standardized or homogeneous so that there is no difference between one seller's product and another seller's product. If a seller tries to raise price above the market equilibrium price, consumers simply switch and buy the product from another firm. There is absolutely no government interference. This includes no taxes, health and safety regulations, or labor laws. In complex economies, it is unlikely to find any firm in perfect competition. The third critical assumption in perfect competition is that the existing firms can stop any new firms from entering the market or existing firms from leaving the market. It means that there are no patents, copyrights, or other legal hurdles or even economic hurdles. This assumption is important because it ensures that no firms earn positive economic profit in the long run. If the market is profitable in the short run, new firms will enter the market, and this would return the market to zero economic profit. In perfect competition, the price of a product is determined at a point at which the demand and supply curve intersect each other. This point is known as equilibrium point, as well as the price is known as equilibrium price. In addition, at this point, the quantity demanded and supplied is called equilibrium quantity. Price is determined by the intersection of market demand and market supply. Individual firms do not have any influence on the market price in perfect competition. Once the market price has been determined by market supply and demand forces, individual firms become price takers. Individual firms are forced to charge the equilibrium price of the market, or consumers will purchase the product from the numerous other firms in the market charging a lower price. In order to maximize profits in a perfectly competitive market, firms set marginal revenue equal to marginal cost, or MR equals MC. MR is the slope of the revenue curve, which is also equal to the demand curve and price. In the short term, it is possible for economic profits to be positive, zero, or negative. When price is greater than average total cost, the firm is making a profit. When price is less than average total cost, the firm is making a loss in the market. The manager of all city realtors wants to hire some real estate agents to specialize in selling housing units acquired by the Resolution Trust Corporation, or RTC, in its attempt to bail out the savings and loan industry. The commission paid by the RTC to the company to sell these homes is a flat rate of $2,000 per unit sold, rather than the customary commission that is based on the same price of home. The manager estimates the following marginal product schedule for real estate agents dealing in government-owned housing. So we have $2,000 multiplied to MP, or the marginal product of 20, to get 40,000 as our marginal revenue product for the first real estate agent. Then second, $1,000 again multiplied to 70 to get 34,000, $1,000 multiplied to 15 to get 30,000, and so on and so on. The given are the price product sold amounted to $2,000, then wages amounted to $32,000, and we are looking for agent. Formula is A equals to W divided by P. $32,000 divided by $2,000, the answer is 16. Marginal revenue product at 16, which MP is $32,000. Therefore, the manager should hire 3 or 2 real estate agents. Given our wages amounted to $18,000, price product sold amounted to $2,000, and we are looking for agents. So the formula is A equals W divided by P. So $18,000 divided by $2,000, we get 9. The manager should hire 5 real estate agents. Our formula again is MRP equals to P multiplied to MP, wherein P is our price product sold, MP is the marginal product. $3,000 multiplied to 20 to get 60,000 as our first marginal revenue product for the first real estate agent. Then $3,000 again multiplied to 17 to get 51,000, and so on and so forth. The given are price product sold amounted to $3,000, and the wages is amounted to $30,000, and we are looking for agent. So the formula is A equals W divided by P. So 30,000 divided by 3,000, we will get 10. Therefore, the manager should hire 4 real estate agents. Market power is the ability of a supplier to set the market price and control the amount of the good or service available to consumers. Market structure has a major influence on market power. Structure is usually presented in terms of an index or percentage, representing the size of the largest firm relative to the overall market's output, or else measuring the distribution of firm size in the market. Essential ingredients of market power are the limited availability of viable substitutes for the service and the ease with which buyers and sellers can weigh these alternatives. A market structure characterized by a single seller selling a unique product in the market. In a monopoly market, the seller faces no competition as he is the sole seller of goods with no close substitutes. Simply means a monopoly is when a single company produces goods with no close substitute. Product means product that is unique in nature, customer specific to HP and cannot be resold by supplier to customers other than HP without major modification. There are 6 ways to be unique: lower price, faster delivery or availability, product features, relative service, valued advisor, and emotional connection. New firms cannot enter, no immediate competitors. When a monopoly is present, it will be extremely difficult or impossible for potential competitors to enter the market. One seller of a product in monopoly, there is typically only one company or group that sells the product. Economies of scale occur when businesses are able to lower their per unit cost of producing goods or services by increasing production. Economies of scale can be both internal and external. Internal economies of scale are based on management decisions, while external ones have to do with outside factors. For example, if a company has a good overall transportation, a company can ship more goods at a lower cost per unit, which can help with cutting costs. The benefits of improving overall transportation conditionally have been primarily evaluated through reduced travel time, reduced vehicle maintenance, and operation costs. In return, can be cost effective. Hub and spoke concept can be used, so transportation costs do not go up, and with economy of scale could help overall transportation costs. When industries are expanding their overall volume of production, as this can also help the external economy of scale. Many sellers offer differentiated products that differ slightly but serve similar purposes. By making consumers aware of product differences, sellers exert some control over price. Realistic competition is a market structure in which many firms, each with a low degree of market power, produce similar but differentiated products. These products are not perfect substitutes, although they may broadly perform the same function or fulfill the same need. The firms use product differentiation and advertising to stress the supposedly unique qualities of products that may otherwise seem indistinguishable because they perform the same as competing products. The product itself can be differentiated by improving its build quality, improving its performance, changing its shape and color, or adding extra features. Holistic competition is a market structure which combines elements of monopoly and competitive markets. Essentially, a monopolistic competitive market is one with freedom of entry and exit, but firms can differentiate their products. Therefore, they have an inelastic demand curve, and so they can set prices. However, because there is freedom of entry, supernormal profits will encourage more firms to enter the market, leading to normal profits in the long term. The global vaccines industry is forecast to experience a rapid growth, spearheaded by the leading vaccine manufacturers in the world who make different types of vaccine. The recent global pandemic of COVID-19 has also had a huge positive impact on this market, as many world's top vaccine companies are now focused on developing the most effective vaccination to combat this highly infectious and life-threatening virus, known as coronavirus. COVID-19 vaccine belong to oligopoly because it has been built through significant market consolidation driven primarily by the complexities of the manufacturing and supply chain. Even the vaccine marketplace is a kind of oligopoly, with a few extremely large firms deciding which vaccines get made, when and at what price. pharmaceutical companies are reluctant to invest in producing new vaccines for the developing world because they have little prospect of earning an attractive return. New vaccine pricing is a complicated process that could have substantial long-standing scientific, medical, and public health ramifications. Pricing can have a considerable impact on new vaccine adoption and thereby either culminate or thwart years of research and development and public health effort. Typically, pricing strategy consists of the following 11 components. First, conduct a target population analysis. Second, map potential competitors and alternatives. Third, construct a vaccine target product profile or TPP and compare it to projected or actual TPPs of competing vaccines. Fourth, quantify the incremental value of the new vaccine's characteristics. Fifth, determine vaccine positioning in the marketplace. Sixth, estimate the vaccine price demand curve. 7. Calculate vaccine costs including those of manufacturing, distribution, and research and development. 8. Account for various legal, regulatory, third-party payer, and competitor factors. 9. Consider the overall product portfolio. 10. Set pricing objectives. 11. Select pricing and pricing structure.